music.
Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto Channel. We are live. It is Friday, guys. Finally, Friday. We have Bitcoin kind of stalling out a little here near the 80K region. We're going to talk about that. The title of the thumbnail is the battle zone. 80.5K to 79.4K. We talked about this yesterday. We're going to look at it a little bit more, see if we can figure out what Bitcoin's going to do here. My phone is blowing up. Hang on one sec. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, go ahead and hit up the poll in chat. Let me know what you think. The weekly close is what matters. None of this 15-minute stuff. None of the hourly stuff. I have rested my case on the weekly close is what matters. We'll touch on that a little bit today. Will we close below 79.4K? Really kind of what I'm asking is, will we close below the battle zone, guys? I have on the chart, on the daily chart here, I have the key to the upside, the dotted lines, and key to the downside. And in the middle is what we call what I'm calling the battle zone. Guys, let's put that on the chart in case some of you are confused here. And we will change it to, let's go with blue. We'll call this the battle zone, guys. Battle zone. Let's make it a little bigger for those of you that can't read like me. Battle zone. Battle zone is on the chart. Let's save that. All right, so it's key to the upside, key to the downside, and in the middle is kind of nothing. It's kind of no man's land. We're making up our mind. Why do we call this the battle zone? Let's take a look at that really quickly. I'm on the daily time frame. So when we came down from all-time high, guys, we bounced right here. You can see it clear as day. We're just going to speed through this. Bounce right here at 80.5K, moved up to 98K before coming down. When we broke that level, okay, we knifed right through it and never back tested it until here recently, the last few days. However, when we came down and formed this new range down here that we've been in since, I don't know, like February, early February, late January, 3-month range or so, we did come up and test 79.4K. We tested it basically 3 days in a row there. We retested it again here, found it as resistance, so 3, 4, 5 days, and then we tested again here 6 days. We found it as resistance before finally breaking through. Okay, so we bounced from 80.5K, big bounce to 98K, and we crashed down from 79.4 all the way to 60K. So that is the battle zone, is what is in between. Will we get accepted back into the range, which is sub 79.4K, or will we get sucked up into the range that is above 80.5K? In the middle, once again, is the battle zone. Nothing has happened here. There's nothing happened here. You found it as resistance. You knifed through it there. You bounced from it there. So there has been no price action within the last, I don't know, probably year plus, all the way back to April 25th. So over a year. And even then, you just kind of knifed through it. So there's been no price action here in over a year. This is the battle zone. Will you find acceptance back into the higher zone? And I understand the range is way up here. I get it. But this was the zone, okay? You moved up from here into the range, okay? And you moved down from here into the range, okay? So we're battling, guys. We're battling. I think I harped on that enough. Sorry, guys. Let's see what we got going over here. Who is in the chat this morning? First one in, Jack's Wild World. What's up, Jack? What's up, buddy? Johnny number 5. What's up, crew? Morning, Max. Mighty Max. We got Hawkborn in the house. Salt Chain, the moderators here. Thanos, my main man. 2 days in a row, bro. I'm glad you're back, man. I'm glad you're back. Mighty Max says you called for this battle zone for sure. Yeah, bro, it is a battle zone. Invicta, what's up, dude? Invicta posting the big P&Ls this morning or last night. I saw it this morning. I don't know when you posted it, but Big time P&Ls, bro. Good job. I didn't take any trades yesterday. None, not one. I am interested in a possible trade, 2 possible trades. Well, lots of possible trades, but 2 kind of we might could get to today. Salt chain driving me crazy that it won't just hurry up and hit that red box already. It may not hit the red box. It may not. That's why I'm not in the trade. I waited for the red box. And I missed this trade. Potentially, we could still come up to it. We'll see. It's not looking good, though. It is not looking good for coming up into that box. What are we looking for today for a possible... Let me save this real quick. Battle zone. Let's look at our market. Jump to the 15-minute. Look at our various market sessions. So we had Asia, UK. We usually look for some sort of statistical edge based upon their price action. We really don't have anything. Asia trended down, right? Asia started here, trended down, clear downtrend. Kind of reverse part of it. For them, still a trend down. Even if you count the reversal, they trended down. UK completely reversed that, took out the Asia high. So now what remains is UK low and Asia low. So not much here. It's not a trending direction through both markets. However, usually, not always, less of a probability when you see Asia trend one way and UK reverse and grab the high or the low. Usually the US will come get the other. So what I mean by that, Asia trended down, the UK reversed and grabbed the Asia high, leaving the Asia low. Usually you will see the US come grab UK and Asia low. Not always. It is more reliable, a higher probability trade when these two trend in the same direction that the US will reverse both of them. That is way higher probability. However, like 90%. This right here is, I would say, probably 70-75% chance that they come for these lows. Okay. The high has already been taken for Asia and the UK. So if they are going to come higher than that, there's no need to come higher. And all liquidity has been grabbed. If they're going to come higher than that, then they're probably going to come up into this daily level and grab some of these right here, right? If not, all the way up and set the high. But they've already grabbed all of this. All of this is gone. So there's no need to come any higher with this week right here. It's all gone. Retested the key to the upside, 80.5K. We just did that about an hour ago. We had some news today, guys. Let's take a look at the news. Today was a big news day. Flashbang, guys. Watch your eyes. We had non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate. Unemployment rate being the biggie of the two, and it came in neutral, so it's a big old nothing burger. But non-farm payrolls came in bearish, guys. 185K previous. They projected 65K, and I told you yesterday, I said, that is freaking outrageous. Like, that is a massive. I told you normally you would expect something if they're going to go down like 135, 140K. Came in at 115. They projected 65K. I told you guys yesterday, I said, there's no way this gets hit. That is insane. That is like a 60% drop in non-farm. That is insane. So I don't know if these stats are correct or maybe the projection was wrong, but I told you yesterday, there's no way they hit 65K. Not even close. And they didn't even come close. Not even close. 115K. Very bearish. Very bearish. Joe Bowers. What's up? West Coast. Invictus says Doge short. Still running. Still running. Good job, bro. I'm not in any trades right now. None. None. Let's talk about the trades I would be interested in, though, guys. Let's zoom it back out. Let's go to the 4-hour. So trades I might be interested in. I was looking. I don't want to say I was hoping, but kind of maybe sort of looking for a move back to the upside here. I'd put this trade, and we still could. US is not even open yet. They open in 1 minute. Move back up into here, the 618 from this move up at 80, almost 83K to our drop down at 79K. The golden pocket is coming in. Golden pocket 702 is coming right in there at the daily level, which I like. You could come grab all the, and you can see the clear cluster here of volume, right? So it would be a really good turnaround spot to come tap that daily level and then continue down. I don't know if we will. It's not looking like they want to, but the U.S. could absolutely reverse this in a hurry. So we'll see. I wouldn't be looking for that. If we come above this right here, a lot of people would say, oh, we got 200 daily 200 SMA right there in the high and the red box. Why not just let it run up into there? Because if there's no look at this support, nothing, right? So if they come above this, they're just fixing to fly right through that, right? And that is 82K all the way up to, I don't know, 83. That's $1,000 just right there, much less the CME gap. They are at least coming to this 200 daily if they break this 786. So there's no point in me extending this red box higher, in my opinion. Currently, it's at almost a 10-to-1 risk to reward from what I'm targeting. So I could extend it up here and still have me a 3-to-1 risk to reward. But why? Why not just get out of the trade there? Because I know they're coming for this if they pass this. So why ride that much drawdown? I just take the loss and re-enter. Watch them come up here and figure out where I got my reaction, my divergence, and I re-enter there instead of riding drawdown from here to here. So I just don't do that, guys. I would ride that kind of drawdown in one of my boxes, but this is a retrace continuation down. Uh-oh. Hang on one second. Let me radio Jane. Hey, bang, you're going to have to not be signing into stuff. It's popping up on the stream, like all the notifications and permissions and stuff. Por favor. Oh,
I'm sorry. Okay.
She is setting up a new laptop up there, and we're connected. I don't understand any of this. Carrie Benz would understand this. Most of you would probably understand it, but somehow it's all networked in, and like my computer is connected to her computer, is connected to my laptop, it's connected to her laptop, is connected to the phones. And so anytime somebody does something, it's like everybody gets pop-ups, and she's setting all this stuff up, and it keeps asking me. I keep getting notifications on the phone and here to allow this, and such is trying to log in here and there, and so I don't understand any of it. Anyway, little walkie-talkies. Isn't that great? It's pretty cool. I don't even remember what I was saying. It doesn't matter. So we had bearish news report. U.S. market is now open. Let's throw on our vectors, drop to the 5-minute, see if we can get a trade here. I'm really not interested. I'm still not interested. I wasn't interested yesterday. I'm not interested now. But Anthony, you're a trader. Why are you not interested? Because I want the big trade right now. I don't want this little, I'll take it. But I want the big trade. Let's talk about targets to the downside. Should we get this trade or should we come down? Where could we look to bounce from? Obviously, a lot depends on this downside, the battle zone. The downside at 79.4. That is our acceptance back into the range. So if we get back in there, we have golden pocket retraces, all that kind of good stuff. But what I would mostly be interested in possibly would be this monthly open 786 monthly open area. We have not tested the monthly open, right? Monthly open 786. I'd be interested in a possible bounce trade from there. Even if we don't go back to highs, we just come back to 79.4. I would definitely be interested in a trade here, guys. This wick does not count. This is only on Bybit. If you do get in, so this doesn't count. If you do get into this stuff right here, these wicks, you can see the clear uptrending diagonal support line right there. If you do get into that, you're going to fast wick through it. So I could see you coming down to the 786 retest on the monthly open, getting a bounce before continuation down. I do expect this month to close red. Speaking of that, let's go look at our monthly stats. And anyway, my ultimate target box, I would probably look to take profit around the monthly open 786, but my ultimate target, which we could certainly go lower, would be the value area high. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see that. Value area high that is from our lower range. I would look to take some profit there. So probably TP1 at the monthly 786 level, maybe a little of the TP2 right here. And then I would let the rest ride to see what we can get in here. That would kind of be my trading plan. if we get the move up and I can get this entry here, you're already at a 10-to-1 risk to reward coming to there. So I like this trade. I like this trade setup. And if you're wrong and you get stopped out here, then I certainly look for this box here. Let's go look at the monthly stats. I will show you what I am talking about. What did I do? Wrong one. Here we go. All right, so we got the monthly stats for May. We have, this was placed on the chart on April 30th. We projected a move up into this box, which we've gotten just slightly wicked above it. But this is based upon historical averages, wick highs, wick lows, to the downside, to the upside. And I have to explain this in crayon sometimes when people are like, oh, you missed it. You went above. This is averages. Averages. That means some months went higher. Some months didn't go that high. This is the average. So a little baby wick above it. Close enough. Close enough. So we so far we have nailed the target to the upside. We're looking for a target to the downside. The month opened right there. Okay, that's the monthly open. Now we have never. Let me pull up the stats again. I got them right here. Flashbang, guys. All right, so there was an 85. Do I have this written on the chart? All right, probably easier to explain right here. There was an 85% chance that we would set the high or the low in the first week of May. 85% chance. Historically, the high or the low has been set in the first week. That is really high compared to most months. Okay? 100% of the time, whether you came down and set the low in the first week or whether you set the high in the first week, 100% of the time, your monthly close was the opposite. Okay? So if you came down first, so if you would have come down first and set the low in the first week of May, 100% of the time you came back above the monthly open and closed green for the month, 100% of the time. And vice versa, if you came up and set the high in the first week, 100% of the time you came back below the monthly low by the end of the month and closed red. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean it will be 100% forever, but so far, dating back to 2013, that has been the case 100% of the time. Okay? Let's see, the high. So far, the high we have was set on the 6th, so that qualifies. So we do fit into these parameters right here, okay? 62% of the time, the low came first. Well, this month happens to be one of the 38% of the time, it looks like. I mean, unless you just did something like this and then closed May up here, then it looks like the high is being set first. Okay, which you certainly could do something like I just drew, but it doesn't appear that way. So we're looking for a move down, and historically we have the stats for the move down, and that would put us somewhere around this 65, let's call it 63 or 62 to 65K zone, okay, right in here somewhere, okay? This is what we would be looking for, which would be perfect because you would just clear out all this. And for those of you that think you can't get a move down like that fast from top to here, 20% move, look at all of these. None of this has been mitigated, guys. None of this has been mitigated. None of it, 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 none of it. So if and when you do get into these, you could see a quick, long squeeze down here, guys, okay? It would look, I mean, look, you did it here. Why can't you do it here? You absolutely can, okay? So don't be surprised to see something like that happen. You might have a battle zone here for a couple of weeks. Well, when could we expect to see this? Well, that's the tough part. It could appear anytime. But I do have a thesis on this, okay? And we discussed this the other day. Let me go back to another chart. And I acknowledge there is not a lot of history on what I'm about to show you. I'm going to go to the weekly bit stamp. All right, I'm going to show you some stats here. We talked about this the other day. But what I have marked out with these vertical lines is every time a new FOMC chair has been sworn in. Janet Yellen was back here in 2014. I showed the show. I'm not going to zoom in on this, but I showed you yesterday. You pumped up into this. It's hard to see here, but you rallied into it and then sold off. First week sell off 24%. The proceeding the month that followed 51%. Okay, kind of like one of those buy the rumor, sell the news events. Jerome Powell, you rallied into this, kind of hard to see, but you rallied into this. First week sell off 26%, the proceeding the following month 20%, which means you actually came up 6% from the first week drop. So the big drop was in the first week, but you still stayed suppressed here, okay? And actually, if you notice here, it took a few extra weeks, but you continued down. But that was not in the first month, but you did continue down. Back in 2022, Jerome stayed in office, but there was a swear-in ceremony. First week, 7% drop-off. The month that followed was a 42% drop-off. So clear downtrend initiated upon that, okay? So the new guy, Kevin Warsh, May 15th. Now, what I think is going to happen, May 15th is a Friday. They could swear him on a Friday, but almost always they do it on a Monday, okay? What May 15th, and they have not announced it. It is not officially announced. There's nothing out there that says when the swearing is. May 15th is Jerome's last day as chair, okay? So you would expect Kevin Warsh to be sworn in that day, but like here, even though Jerome was still in office, his term expired on a Saturday, and they didn't do the swear-in ceremony until Monday. So I don't know if they're going to swear him in next Friday when Jerome's expires, or if they're going to do it on Monday. This was a Monday, this was a Monday, this was a Monday, okay? So it doesn't really matter. What we're looking for is, so the Sunday will be the 17th, right? The 17th will be the Sunday that will start the new week, 17th. So whether they swear him in on this 15th on the Friday, or the 18th, which would be the Monday. Monday is the 18th. Either way, we're going to look for the week of the 17th for this first week statistic to see if that holds for a big drop, okay? So the week of the 17th, which is 9 days from now. Guess what else we have on the 16th, which is Sunday, starting that week off? The bare moon. So some things kind of lining up there. Regardless if you believe in the hokey stuff and the moons and all that jazz, I don't really care what you think about it. You know, some people believe in it, some people don't. Some people think it's stupid. Some people swear by it. I don't care. I care about one thing, statistics. And if you throw that in a tracking calculator, there is a tracker you can use on here. You throw this in a tracker, the moons, there is a statistical probability as to whether or not you go up on a bull moon or down on a bear moon, and it is in favor of each moon. The direction is in favor, largely in favor. I think it's like 70%, 72%. I can't remember the stat. And it changes every 2 weeks as you get a new moon. You know, you either increase or decrease in percentage. Just like, we'll look at it now. Let's see what happened the last couple moons. I know the last one of the moons was a failure. Whichever one it was last. The bear moon was a failure. But this bull moon is a big success. So let's two bear moons ago, played out, boom, you can see a good play out right there, right? Then you followed up with a bull moon, it was good. Then you had a bear moon. I consider this a failure because you got the moon right here. Yeah, you moved down like 1%, but ultimately it was a move up. I would consider this a failure, even though, because the statistic is 7.5% is the average move on the moons, whether it be bull or bear, 7.5%. Some larger, some smaller. I would consider let's look and see what this was. I don't even remember. From the time you got it, you got a 1.8%. So 1.5%, less than 2% move down. I consider that a failure. And matter of fact, I consider it a failure because when you got it, not only did you only get a 2% move down, but as soon as you got it, you got a big move to the upside and then a retrace and continuation to the upside. So this is a failure to be. Clearly, bull moon has been a winner. Bull moon here, clear winner. Bear moon here, clear winner. This was an obvious failure. I mean, technically, no, it was a failure. You only moved up there and then straight down. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're just going to look at the last 7. That's it. I'm not going back any further. So we had 5 winners out of 7. 71%. Yeah, and that's about historically correct. I've put this in the tracking machine before, and it is 72% winners. So regardless of what you think about the moons, there is a statistical edge to them. And right here on the 16th, you're going to have a, let's make it correct. There's going to be a bare moon right there when Kevin Warsh is being sworn in. Right there where we have our statistical probabilities to be moving to the downside. So we'll see. Will we get a move up into that? That's the question. Now, we have been having this nice little move up. Okay, this would be the buy the rumor. And are we already beginning to sell the news, or do we get one more push up into it and then sell off? That would be the question. I don't know. But I do believe right here we're going to have a sell the news event. I really believe that, guys. So statistically, according to May, 85% chance the high is already in. 85% chance we do not take out that high because we are now past the first week of May. So you can trade against 85% statistic all you want, but I will not be trading against it. All right, we got the 845. Let's just go back and see what Bittercorn is doing. Dropping, maybe. Let's turn the moon off. Let's go back to the vectors. Let me hide this battle zone. A lot of guys can work on their chart with shaded areas like this. It throws me off big time. I want to keep it on the chart. I'm just going to hide it real quick. Uh-oh. We don't have any vectors since the market is opened, which tells me they likely just want to go down, and retail folks were moving it down, so they didn't have to step in. I would actually even be interested in, not yet. I mean, we could come down and close, a 5 minute here below, but I would really be interested. I don't usually do breakout or breakdown trades, but I would actually be interested in a weekly close below this, a short. I really would. There's nothing that could make me long right now. Nothing. And this thing could pump to 100K and it just goes without me, but there's nothing that can make me take a long at this point. Nothing. I mean, other than like a little scalp long or something like that. We come down to that monthly area, maybe a little bounce long. But there's nothing that can make me break out long trade here. But I would consider a breakdown short trade. I mean, we highlighted this earlier, but, boom, boom, resistance, resistance, resistance. 3 days of resistance over here. To me, this would be a weekly closing basis, weekly acceptance back into this zone. Not the range. The range is here, but this is the zone that you could not escape from. And a weekly acceptance back in it would just confirm to me that we're coming back to trade within the zone and likely within the range. And again, guys, you guys have to see this right here. If you get into this, again, this wick right here does not count. This is a scam wick on Bybit only. But I mean, even if it counted, it is still a higher low. So you just come get all this. You could come really quick, guys. This is stair step up, elevator down stuff right here, guys. Gotta be aware of that. Let's see. Wendy's in the house. Good morning, crew. Nice to hear you two chat. We chat all the time. We have you guys know, y'all seen our videos, but we have a big property here, and I work outside almost nonstop. And I mean, I could be like 5 acres over doing something, and I got my gloves on. I'm chainsawing and stuff, and it's just hard to pull out the phone and take the gloves off and try to text and, you know, cover the screen so you can see because it's too bright. And so we just like beep beep and radio each other. We even do it in here. I'll be like, watch this. What are you doing?
Nothing exciting. Just looking at the Amazon stuff.
She's shopping, guys. Baby, you can't buy anything. I didn't trade yesterday. We're broke. She's not going to answer that. She just said, what? She's like, you didn't make any money yesterday? No. I looked at altcoins yesterday. I found an altcoin, guys. I posted about it in Discord. I hope you guys pay attention. I'm not seeing a whole lot of participation in there, especially on the altcoin. So I feel like I should just stop posting about them because I don't think anybody really cares about altcoins, which tells me you don't really care about making life-changing gains. You guys, I'm going to show you the profit I make on these alts. I'm going to show you where I started with each coin, how many coins and the value, and when I finish. And I'm going to show you how I didn't place a single other nickel in there and how much I close out for. I don't even care if we have a massive alt season. In fact, I don't count on massive alt season. I don't care. That's why I'm multiplying my holdings of them now, so that even if you don't have an alt season, if we just go up in 2x, I'm going to 5x my 2x because I'm going to 5x my holdings and ride it for a 2x. That gives me a 10x for my initial, whether it does an actual 10x or not. I don't care. I don't leave it to fate. I take it in my own hands. Let's see. Eon said it would be interesting to see if there's any relevance to how likely the moons are to perform as expected on a monthly basis and add that to your spreadsheet of stats. I'm not sure what you mean on a monthly basis. That would be tough to do because there are 2 moons in each month. There's a new moon and full moon or bull moon, bear moon every 2 weeks. So they're contradicting moons. So I don't know how we would do that on a monthly basis. I'm not sure. Maybe you have an idea. Got to check with Jane about the moon, Wendy says. Yeah, Jane knows better than me. Jane knows. Johnny number 5 says, I checked out that NOS you posted about. If this thing catches, it could rip like hundreds of X multiplier possibly. I'm telling you guys. Joe Bauer says he cares about alts. Guys, Johnny number 5. I posted about this yesterday. Let's see if I can find it. I was just doing my own research like you should do. And I posted about this. Keep your eye on the coin right here, y'all. No Santa. Who sings that song? Rosanna. Toto? I think it's Toto. We could change it to No Santa. Anyway, No Santa, ticker NOS. So NOS USD. I've done the research. Just trust me. Or better yet, do your own research. I will be heavily buying this coin if we get another good pullback. Matter of fact, I'm not logged in here. I'm not logged in my Kraken. I have an order for, I think, $90,000 lower for No Santa. So this coin, guys, No Santa, and I posted this. I'll just pull it up on the chart. Johnny says, great live stream today. Really appreciate your insight into alts. Okay, guys, if you missed the live stream yesterday, guys, and you're interested in alts, I'm telling you guys, you should go back and watch the live stream from yesterday. Fast forward to, see if I can find it. Fast forward to the, it's right here, Bitcoin and altcoins. This one right here. Fast forward to where we start talking about altcoins and circulating supply, coin market cap, stuff like that. Fast forward to you start seeing these screens here. I don't know where we first started talking about it. You go find it. It'll take you like 2 seconds to find it. This is probably where we started talking about it. Right. I'm on SUI. So, yeah, I think I started with SUI. Or did I start with Fetch? I think I started with Sui. So fast forward to about, trust me, guys, trust me. Fast forward about 40 minutes in and watch from there on. And I'm telling you guys, you might need to unmarry your altcoin, okay? I'm telling you, you might need to unmarry your altcoin. You at least need to go do what I walked you through on here yesterday, okay? You need to do it. I'm telling you. It can make the difference in you making life-changing gains or you not making very much at all. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm dead serious. This is a hard lesson to learn. What I want you guys to understand, I'm not tooting my horn, but when I tell you things like this, or when I tell you things like when you get back to break even, take the dang break even. If you get in a leverage trade and it takes off against you and you get a shot at break even, when I tell you things like that, guys, it is very, very expensive lessons learned over the years by me. I'm not just telling you just to tell you. I'm telling you because I've been there and I've done it all, and I've gotten wrecked by not listening to things that I'm trying to tell you, okay? I'm trying to make your life a lot easier if you would just kind of maybe... But the biggest gains, period, I don't care what anybody says, your Bitcoin maxis, the biggest gains, period, can and will be in your altcoins, okay? Especially, even if they don't have monumental run-ups, 40, 50, 100x, the accumulation phase where you can just grow your bags for free, it's just astounding how much you make, even if they just do a 2 or 3x. If you've 10x your holdings and then ride it up for a 3x, you have 30x your initial investment, okay? You don't need a coin that's going to 30x. You don't need that. And if you do get on one that 30x's, then you've 300x your holding, your profit, 300x. So I'm telling you, start accumulating now. Here, people don't listen. I'm telling you, I get it. I'm not saying you should listen to me, but I'm saying I've done this for over 10 years. And people, let's go to the weekly fetch. We're in the bear market, obviously, right? Okay, last bear market right here. Look at this. Look how much you could have accumulated down in here. But people don't want to do it because you think, oh, God, we're surely going lower. We're going lower. Who gives a shit if you go lower? Excuse my language. Who cares? Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. You know how many buy, sells, accumulations you could have got here? And if you go lower and you have to wait and ride it back up, so what? You could have 5x your holdings right here, okay? Even if you have to ride a little drawdown right here. People don't want to do that. People want to see that, oh, bull run confirmed. Let's start trading. Let's buy here at ridiculous prices, 47 cents, when you could have got it for 7 cents. And as soon as you buy, you're going to go into immediate drawdown. That's what people do. And that's dumb. I'm sorry. If you do that, that's dumb. Buy and sell here. Accumulate. Accumulate. Could you go lower than you are now? Yeah, sure you can. Absolutely. Absolutely. And 50-50 chance you do go lower from here, okay? But it doesn't matter. If you'd have bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here, you don't even have to get it exactly right. You know what I mean? These are weekly basis. You go to the dailies. How many buy here, sell here you could have gotten in this area? Just in this, almost every one of these candles right here. This is a daily candle. So almost every day could have bought and sold. Those are 15% candles, guys. 15% candles. Some of them, even the smaller ones, 10%, 9% candles, guys. These are big freaking moves, guys. You can really add up. And so what? Say you 5x here, and then this comes down a little, and oh, gosh, I had $50,000 worth of coins, and now I only have $35,000. So what? So what? You have 5 times more coins, and eventually this thing goes to $2 from 20 cents. You 10x your 20-cent investment that went into some drawdown. You 10x that times 5x your holdings. You got a 50x on your initial investment. Stop being scared. You're at the bottom of the bear market. You're supposed to feel scared down here. That's how it's supposed to feel. Just like up here at the top, you're supposed to feel like it's never going to end. We are going to the moon. That's how you're supposed to feel. That's how you know it's time. It's time to sell. It's time to buy. Or better yet, it's time to accumulate. And I'm literally walking you through it in Discord, and I just don't think folks are doing it. Even though I keep showing my holdings increasing, I'm already at almost a 5x on my WorldCoin holdings. All right, guys, I'm off my soapbox. Go watch that from yesterday. Go watch it. Anyway, let's go back to Nosana. Let's show you this Nosana, guys. I really like this coin, y'all. So I'm not fixing to go through the circulating supply spiel again. Go watch the video. But Nosana, right here said it's an all-time high. Technically a little higher here on the release date, but we don't count that. The first tradable actual market move all-time high was right here at $5.25. Market cap of $187 million, circulating supply 35 million, right? All right, circulating supply now is 71 million, which is twice as much as it was there. Actually, it's 100 million. This is wrong. But that doesn't matter. Let me show you something. Pull up old coin market cap. Let me show you something. And you can pull up your chat GPT and ask. So it's showing 71 million circulating supply. That's just what's been reported. Actually, 100 million are in circulation, which is the max total supply. Look at this, 99.99 million Nosana. There will be no more Nosana introduced. So you do not have to worry about market dilution. You do not have to worry about dilution, okay? Which means you got 100 million coins in circulation now, but by next year you may have a billion coins. You don't have to worry about that. All of them are in circulation, okay? So with all of them being in circulation at 100 million coins, the market cap, the highest market cap you got was $187 million. So if you go back, that was at 35.6. This is real easy math for Nosana too, because Nosana has 100 million coins. Okay, so for every $100 million that comes into the market cap, that's $1. Okay, so if you go back to 100 million, just 100 million. Let me type that on there too. 100 million. This is easy math for this. 100 million. I'm going to tell you more reasons this is a great coin. $100 million market cap equals $1 price. Okay, that's easy math. You can see that there's 100 million coins. So for every dollar in price, that's $100 million. So it's 100 million coins times $1 is $100 million market cap. 100 times 1 is 100, right? You get it? Okay. Last time, the market cap on a brand new coin that didn't even have a chance, that was released at the end of a bull market, headed into a bear market, did 187 million. So if you just return to there, which is so small, you know why it's small? Because this is an AI coin that was released, headed into a bear market. It has not even experienced a bull market, okay? An AI coin, if you just go back to all-time high market cap, you're going to be $1.87, which is a 9x from current price. On an AI coin that has not experienced a bull market, that is fully in circulating supply at 100 million coins, which is nothing. Nothing. That is so small. Let's look at Fetch. I'm going to come back to this. I just want to do a little comparison. I'm not saying this is going to do what Fetch has done, but let's just look. Fetch's all-time high market cap was $5 billion. 5. Back here when Fetch was released, this is, yeah, this has more history here. Fetch's early days, when it was first released, had a market cap right down here about 20 million, 15 million. It's somewhere between like 15, let's call it $20 million. It kind of fluctuated here between 10 and 30 million. $20 million. Okay, $20 million that ran to $5 billion. Okay, Nosana, when it was released, it was kind of $2, $3, $4 million. Ran up to 100 and that's not correct. Hang on. Down here, yeah, $2, $3, $4 million, somewhere in there, and ran up to $187 million, $200 million, $202 million. If that thing ran to $5 billion, $5 billion, guys, it won't. It could. But let's look at Fetch. Let's look at the multiplier that could happen, because these are very similar. Fetch has done a 46,000% gain. And I really think you could, Nosana is one of those that could do it. It is AI. It is brand new. It has never had a proper, look, Fetch was released similarly, right? Released here, headed into a bear market, right? Release headed into a bear market. And look what happened when it had its first bull run, okay? The first bull run gave you a 16,000% gain, the first bull run, okay? But nobody saw it coming, because as soon as it was released, it just headed down. But it wasn't released in a bull market. It was released when everything else, the market was tanking anyway, so it was just a bad release for investors. But 16,000% increase from the low of the bear market. 16,000%, guys. And look how similar that looks to Nosana. Released headed into a bear market. You could get a massive gain here. You have no more coins coming into circulation. No more coins. By the way, when Fetch circulating supply of Fetch, when it ran up here to 350, was 750 million coins. Nosana has 80% less coins, which means when this sucker gets up and runs, if it gets up and runs, this thing can fly, can absolutely rip. It has AI narrative. It is ran on the Solana network. This thing, it just has so much potential, guys. You're not fixing to get diluted. You have AI backing you, AI narrative, and the Solana network. I just really like it, guys. Even if you only got to $1 billion, $1 billion, which is nothing for AI technology coins in a bull market. $1 billion at 100 million coins takes you to a $10 Nosana. $10, which is a 40x from current price. 40x. That's assuming you don't do any accumulation. Even if it only went to $500 million, $500 million market, which is nothing. Oh my gosh. I would target $500,000 all day long. That takes you back to $5. That is a 25x or 20x from current price. 20x. And if you were able to double those holdings somewhere along the way through accumulation, just double your accumulation holdings, you got a 40x. At a $500 million market cap on an AI coin. Guys, let me one better you. You can buy this on Kraken. You guys have probably heard about the Coinbase listing pumps and stuff like that. This coin is not even listed on Coinbase or Binance yet. If and when this coin becomes available on one or both of those exchanges, overnight pumpage, guys. You guys know, if y'all been paying attention, if you've been around for a couple cycles or at least one cycle, you know when coins get released on Coinbase and Binance, they pump. So you're in my opinion, you're in the very early stages of this coin. Don't make me show you 100x on Nosana and you guys start kicking yourself. Even if you're afraid of it, let's say you have 10 grand to invest. I think you should throw $1,000 at it, not financial advice. At least 10% of your portfolio. I'm going to throw 50% of mine. I might even replace WorldCoin with this. In fact, I probably will. I will not get rid of Fetch. Nothing can make me get rid of Fetch. Short of a scandal with Fetch or something like that. But Nosana, the problem is for large orders, it's going to be hard. There's not a lot of liquidity, not a lot of volume. It's going to be hard for large orders to get filled here, especially right now in a bear market. Now, as price picks up and market cap starts increasing, it'll be a little easier to fill some of these orders here. But down here, there's not a lot of volume. So with the size order, I would literally be a whale. Isn't that funny to think of? I'll be a whale with what I plan to invest here. I will own 1% of all Nosana coins. 1%. It's crazy. If my order gets filled. I have an order down here at like 18 cents, I think. I will be an official whale. Most people define a whale as someone who owns 1% of a particular asset or more. It's a whale. I'll be a Nosana whale. And I would look for something like a $5 price target, a minimum of probably $3.50. But a $5, but I could easily see this thing going to 10 or 20 bucks. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating at all. All right, guys, I've harped on about that enough. Let's see. Eon says, like, for example, in May, is there any historical data as to how often the May bull moon actually moves price up? Well, I'm not really sure what you mean. It could only move it up once, each of them, because there's only one bull moon and bear moon in the month. I think Tau, Joe is interested in Tau. Tau's good. Listen. I don't know where Tau is going to go, and I haven't done the circulating supply thing, research on Tau. Let's pull up Tau. Tau, I'm telling you guys, it may be. My fear with Tau. I don't count. Is this all the history? Binance. Let's look and see if there's more history somewhere else. I guess that's it. What is this? March, February 25. April 24. All right, so this week doesn't count. Do not count this in your all-time high, guys. People are like, oh, Tau all-time high, $1,500. No, it's not. No, it's not. But the wick is up to $1,500. I don't care. That is where they released price. This was the release. Some inflated number, whatever the creator said it was, and then it immediately tanked. Okay? This is your all-time high right here on Tau. $750. There's your all-time high. Okay? So, because there's no actionable price, there's no legitimate price action here. There's just release, dump, okay? Period. By the time you start getting actionable price, right, this is where buyers and sellers started stepping in, negotiating over the fair price of Tau. They moved it up to here and then back down. Okay, this is your all-time high. Do not throw your fibs and all sorts of other whatever on 1,500. That is not correct, okay? In my opinion, $750, that is your all-time high. The problem with Tau, first of all, it's pretty new, so there's not a lot of, it's never been through a bull market, so you don't really know how it's going to perform. But I will tell you this. If AI narrative, and I hate talking fundamentals because you never know, like 2 cycles ago it was NFTs, and then the cycle after that it was like gaming, or maybe the NFTs were in gaming, I can't remember, and then it was kind of like AI started late last cycle, and we're expecting AI to continue, but through all the markets I've been through, every time is something different. So will AI continue? Or will it switch to privacy coins? Or will it be something different, something we're not even thinking of yet? We don't know. But if AI continues, which I think it will, okay, the AI is definitely the future, right? AI and privacy coins are where it's at. But you can't just throw your money at an AI or privacy coin. You need to look at the circulating supply and the unlock schedule and lots of other things, okay? But the problem with Tau, possibly, I don't know where it's going to go. This thing could go to 10 grand for all I know, is if it just goes back to all-time high, you're really only getting a 2.5x on your return. It's kind of like Zcash, right? Zcash is an all-time high, guys. Like, yeah, it's a great coin. Could it continue up to 100 grand? Sure, but will it? Is it a good investment where you are now? But I do think that Tau is going to lead the way, okay? But let me give you an example to why it may not be a good investment. It could be. I don't know where it's going to go, and nobody does because it hasn't been through a bull run. But Tau is like the king of AI. Fetch is going to follow it. Everything's going to follow it. At least that's the rumor. I don't know how to say this in a good. But again, I just hang my hat on. The problem is the bull run was back here, and Tau wasn't around, so we don't know where it could possibly go to, or where it could retrace to in the next level. I don't have a clue. The problem with buying something like that here is your all-time high. The only thing you have to go by is 750. And so it could be like Bitcoin to where, yeah, it's going to do well, but you're probably only going to get a 2x out of current price. Whereas something like Fetch, you're probably going to get a 10x out of current price. So I just don't know that the risk to reward or your return on investment is great here. I don't know that it's not. There's just not price history here for me to say that. So just like let's assume everything goes back to all-time high. That's all you have to go back. Most coins don't, but let's assume it does. That's a 2.5x from here. Let's go look at Nasana. If Nasana goes back to all-time high at $5, that's a 20x from here. Do you see the difference? 20x. Let's look at Fetch. If Fetch goes back to all-time high at 350, that's, what is that? A 15x from here. It's not a 2x like Tau. And again, this thing could absolutely 50, 100x. I don't know. All I know is the highest it's ever gone is 750. That's all I know. So it's just so hard. What makes this hard too for somebody like me? I don't have a hodler's brain. I don't have a let's just buy and hold it. I have a trader's brain. I don't know how to trade this beyond 750. This blue sky breakout for this, I don't know where to take profit. I don't know where support and resistance are. I don't know where Fibonacci retracement would be. I don't know where. This is just a hard one for me. It'd be different if it was like Nasana. It was released up here, and you had all this price action. This one was released here and then came and formed a zone, and you're still like right at the middle of that zone, whereas Nasana is way down here at the bottom of its zone, right? So it's easy for me, even if we don't return to all-time high, I can say, okay, well, here's a good retracement level. Here's a good liquidity level. Here was a good volume zone. So likely we retrace the volume. A trader's brain, I know where to look to take profit. This is just a hard one for me. So I personally would avoid Tau, but I do think it's going to do very, very well just because of a little bit of fundamentals I know about it. But from the technical standpoint, it is not my thing. But I'm not knocking it. I think it's going to do great. I just can't tell you how great, and nobody can. Because there's no history to go on. I hope that makes sense. I'm not trying to knock it. I'm really not. I just want something that I can, if things get bad and nothing really takes off like you want, I want something I can look at and say, okay, we're not really having the bull cycle we'd hoped for. I'm going to look to take profit here because this was good, strong support and resistance before. Wendy said, "Oh no, I meant the word exciting that Jane was shopping." Now, Wendy's gone. See you, Wendy. Glad you came. Yeah, it's gonna be your own thing, Eons, because I don't know what you mean. I don't know how to look at them on a month by month. I mean, that's what I said. Like, I've already thrown it in the tracker, not on month by month, but it's on a bi-weekly basis. And they play out about 72% of the time for about 7.5% each. Each winning moon is about a 7.5%. I don't remember what the losers were. That's the stat. So, anyway, guys, Nasana I'm telling you guys, look at Nosana. I don't know where else you can get it on, but I know you can get it on Kraken. I'll show you guys. Let me move this. You guys don't need to see my login. I'll bring it back. I don't know what you can do with my login. I don't, because I got to scan it, but I'm sure somebody can figure something out. Look at this stuff we bought, guys. Duracell batteries, got a new fan, got a screen for the door, some Splenda, Nutrisuma pea protein. When I started having kidney problems, I had to switch from whey protein to pea protein. This is what I take now, pea protein. I'm going to show you guys. You guys aren't going to believe me. Let me put in my password. Now I got to do the scanning thing. Stop it. Edge is in here pestering me. It's like he knows I'm talking. He doesn't want to scan me. There it goes. I'll move it back off in case you guys can figure something out. All right, here we go. There it is, guys. I do have an order in place. 430,000 Nosana. I'm going to wind up with about 1 million Nosana that I'm going to buy. This is just my first buy order that I have at 1940. I'm going to ladder in some buys. But I'm going to go for about 1 million Nosana, and then I'm going to try. Well, what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to try to buy this 430,000, and I'm going to try to spot trade it and grow it to 1 million. And if that doesn't happen, I'm going to buy the rest. So I want 1 million Nosana, and I'm going to target $3.50. But if it does just half the market cap it did before, just half that it did before in a bear market or headed down to a bear market, it still did 187 million. If it does just half that and hits 100 million, I'm going to sell that for $1, which would be $1 million. That's if I don't accumulate anymore. But anyway, you can see it is here on Coinbase, or no, not Coinbase, Kraken. Look at the problem, though. The problem is going to be getting this thing filled. So right here at these current prices, 25, 26 cents, those orders for like 500, 200, 500, 6,000, 79, 5,300, 1,000, 5,000, 89, 86, 90. I got an order for 430,000. If my order even can get filled, it's probably going to sit there for about 3 days trying to fill. Like I'm literally, at some point in time, when Asana gets to 1940, if you guys should set an alert at like 1950 and watch it. When it gets to 1940, I bet you the price on Asana sits at 1940 for 2 days. It hasn't moved a penny lower because I'm literally, and I'm not bragging, I'm literally going to hold the price of Asana up. It will not be able to go lower until it fills my order. And there's just not enough volume here to fill my freaking order, guys. I mean, I could fill everything on this and not even have, I mean, maybe 15% of my order filled if I fill this entire thing. And this is a 10% range right here. From 24.68 to 26.27, that's 2 cents. That's a 10% range. And I have mine on post only, so I'm not getting hit with slippage. It's going to have to fill me at 19.40. So price is going to sit there for a while, guys. So if you want to fill this and you want to fill it lower, you should probably set your order at 19.41. Because you ain't getting past 19.40 without filling about 500,000 coins. This is how we roll. No, hey, as I'm saying, I'm literally going to be a whale. I'm not bragging, but I'm going to own 1% of the circulating supply of Asana. If I don't know if you guys ever done this. I've been a 1% owner one time of WorldCoin. WorldCoin didn't used to have billions of coins. It was like this. It had like 100 million coins, okay? I put in an order. I was so mad. I put in an order. This was before WorldCoin was on Coinbase or everything. It had just come to Kraken, and I did a big order, and I was like spot accumulating. I sold, and I forgot to click post on. Matter of fact, I didn't even limit sell. I did a market sell like a freaking moron. I market sold. I don't remember the price, but my order was so big and the books were so thin that price, by the time it filled my order, let's say it was $1. That I don't remember, but say it was $1. By the time it filled my order, was like it filled at orders like $1, $2, $5, $7, $8, $9, all the way up to like $1.30. I lost like $8,000 filling that order. My total was $8,000 less because it hit me with the slippage, filling all my order instead of filling me all right there. I was so mad. I had the spot trade that I had accumulated and sold on. I had profited like $3,500. I was like, cool, let me just sell this. Take this little $3,500. When it comes back down, I'll buy lower, accumulate more. But when I sold, my balance was not $3,500 more like it should have been. It was $8,000 less because they nailed me with like a 30% slippage. It was crazy. So I had so many coins and the market was so thin at that time, especially on Kraken, that I was literally able to move the price. There was a spike, like a boom. It looked like a scam wick. Boom, boom. Just like that. It looked like a scam wick, but it was really Anthony Lee selling his WorldCoin. It's crazy. I have to find it. I screenshot it and send it to a buddy of mine that I trade with. I was like, look at this shit. I said, see that wick? It's not a scam wick. I was so happy. I was like, that's me. I lost $8,000, but that's me. That's what it's going to look like when I buy Nosana. I'm going to record it. I'm going to screen record it when it comes down there so you guys can see that wick. Boom, boom. Anyway, any questions, guys? We looked at our monthly stats. We looked at Nosana. We looked at the FOMC and Bear Moon coming up on the 15th, 16th. 200. So one thing I want to show you. So we've been watching this 200-day SMA, right? Oops. And SMA stands for simple moving average. So it means it moves and it's daily, so it updates every single day. I have adjusted this purple line on the chart because it has moved. I'm turning it back on right now. There it is. It was up here in our dang red box, which is part of the reason we're targeting CME gap, dang red box, but it has now moved, so it is coming down. So if this thing continues, you could technically, something like this, work your way up and hit the 200-day and still continue down. You could just hit it somewhere around here, depending on if and when it gets up there. Bitcoin bouncing. Gosh, we missed this bounce. Didn't quite come to my level, though. I was looking for this daily level, golden pocket retrace. No, I'm not. I'm looking for even lower. I'm looking for this daily and monthly open right here. So 200 simple day moving down. Oh, one more thing I wanted to show you guys. Do you guys ever use trend-based time? Is that what it's called? I use this sometime. Trend-based fib time. We'll go to the weekly Bitstamp chart. So, gosh, there's going to be a lot of stats broken. There are several 100% stats, 5 or 6 100% stats that indicate bear market bottoms. 5 or 6. Half of them are going to be broken this time. Okay, half of them will be invalidated. So you'll have half of your 100% stats, the 100% stats that are no longer 100%. Either way it goes, whether the bottom is in or whether the bottom is not in, half will be violated this time. So you got Trembolone, trend-based. It's right here under your fibs. It's trend-based fib time. Now this indicates how long to reach the bottom, and a good target for a macro move is the 382. Okay, I'm going to show you. So we have. Let me see. I'm on a weekly time frame. Let's go to the first bull run bear market here. I'm going to throw it on. What we'll do is we hit the bottom and then double tap the top. So did I say that right? Yeah, bottom, double tap top. So was this the bottom? Or was this the bottom? Bottom of the bear, double tap. That is not correct. I did this wrong. I'm going to have to make this bigger. I can't see. This is not, we can't, that wasn't a full bear market. That's what the problem is. All right, so what we want to do is take the first bull run to bear market low, which was in 2015, January 2015. You get the bear market low. We'll take it to the bull market high in 2017, December 2017, and boom. Okay, where do we find our bear? And then it gives you this fib, right? Just like any other fib. The first green line is your 382, which is where we found the bottom, okay? So we found the bottom there just before the 382, right? Boom. All right, so we'll take our new fib. I'm going to erase that. Just remember it's the 382, just before the 382. We're going to take that low, boom, drag it to the next high, 69K in 2021, and boom. Where do we find our bear market bottom after that? Just before the 382, okay? So both times come just before that green 382. So let's delete that time-based fib, and let's take our low right there, drag it to the high at 126K, boom. We're nowhere near our 382, okay? Our 382 comes way in over here in November of 26, so November. Now, both of these, we kind of ran this slightly. Let's see about how much. I should have left them on here. That'd be interesting. I did not pull this yesterday. I did not look and see how much. We hit the low here. We ran the 386 by 7 weeks. 7 weeks. Here we're in the low by, or the 382 by 4 weeks. So we ran it by about a month and then about a month and a half. Okay, which would put our bottom somewhere around October, which we have always bottomed 12 months, exactly 12 months, not to the day, but to the month, 12 months from the high. Always bottom 12 months from the high, which would be about right? Because the 382 is 13 months from the high, so that would have us bottoming somewhere right around there, right? So if we bottomed way back here, which is not even close to the 382. Remember, we were 7 weeks and 4 weeks away. If this was the actual bottom, this will put us 40 weeks away. That is a massive difference, right? Remember, every time we've also come to the 786, which is down in there somewhere. So we're nowhere near. We didn't even come to the golden pocket. So we missed the 618. We didn't come to the 786. We're nowhere near the 382. These statistics, which have always happened 100% of the time, I realize there's only 3 or 4 iterations previously, but they're 100%. But we've shown the RSI and we've shown the money flow crossovers, and those also are 100% stats, and we have hit those. Weekly money flow crossing confirming of the green has always meant the bottom was in, always. Those are also 100% stats. So either way it goes, you're going to have multiple 100% stats that are invalidated this cycle, because you can't come back and settle low at anything lower than 60K and have the money flow confirmation on the weekly and the green and have that stat still be valid. It would then be invalidated because you've never come back and violated the low, mitigated the low, taken out the low once that is confirmed green on the weekly. So that stat will be invalidated along with the RSI crossing 30, which is a 100% stat. That won't be invalidated. But then the 100% stat of the 786 and the time-based trend fib could be validated. So either way it goes, you can't have all of these be 100%. Right? So it's a tough call. It's a tough call. They're all really valid stats. They're all really valid indicators. So we shall see. Anyway, we don't know. We're going to see. But one thing we do expect, guys, is a rotation down for May. FOMC swearing is coming up. We have hit our target. Yes, we could come back and take that out one more time. However, there's an 85% chance that we do not, and that the high is already in, and that we will rotate down at least to take out the opening month of May, which is right there, about 76K. Okay. All right, guys, go look at Asana. Go do your research. Joe, I'm going to look at Tau. I'm going to look at that circulating supply stuff on Tau today because there's not much to go on with price history. So I would at least like to see if there's dilution in the market coming with the unlock schedule or not, because I do really like the potential of Tau. So I'm going to do that for you. I'll let you know. I'll post what I find. All right, guys, the Lord loves you. I love you guys. I will see you guys next